Hey, what's going on, man? It's your boy, Jay Holley, and we are right near close to draft season. We have free agency, we have draft, and there is needs for the Cowboys. One in particular, and one that's near and dear to my heart, is the wide receiver position. Now, we know what Dak Prescott has right now. He has arguably one of the top 2, maybe 3 receivers in the league, and that's CeeDee Lamb. And CeeDee Lamb is his do-it-all everything. He plays the slot. He plays outside. He has wonderful yak cards. He can track the ball down the field. He can take a slant 7 yards or 97 yards. He is the do-it-all receiver for the Cowboys and for Dak Prescott. The only problem is he can't do it all by himself. And the Cowboys have tried on numerous occasions to try to pair him up with another receiver. They went and they traded for Brandon Cooks. Smaller guy, older guy, and he had some plays in there throughout his career with the Dallas Cowboys, but it just wasn't enough to truly take the attention off of CeeDee Lamb and to truly help Dak Prescott out at the quarterback position. And then you had one like Jalen Tolbert, who we were kind of waiting for him to blossom into this wonderful number 2 wide receiver for Dak Prescott, and it never quite, as we like to say, the curl never really quite curled all the way over. And then there's Ryan Flournoy, and then the Cowboys give up a 4th-round pick to Jonathan Mingo. Now, that's still a little bit to be determined. We don't know how that'll all play out in the end, but early reports say it ain't it. So when you look what Dak Prescott needs for him to maximize his ability, he needs another big-time receiver. When Dak Prescott is at his best, he is a timing and rhythm thrower. He's the kind of guy that he wants to survey the land, gets his drops, 3-step, 5-step, 7 steps, and the ball come out clean, efficient, and fast. Now, there are many nuances to the wide receiver position. It ain't just about fast. It ain't just about catching ability. It ain't about just, being able to make a play. It's about tempo. It's about reading and reacting. It's about being soft in zones. It's about being fast in man. It's about understanding and knowing when in the progression of these routes, I'm the first receiver, I'm the first look, I'm the second look, I'm the third look. And now you kind of know how you have more time to do different things within the route because you truly understand what are the progressions in these routes. And I think if the Cowboys are going to take the next step and go from not making the playoffs to truly being Super Bowl contenders, it's going to come on the shoulders or back or maybe even the hamstrings of Dak Prescott. But he has to and he must have another receiver to go opposite of CeeDee Lamb. And boy, do I have 3 that I think would fit really well in the scheme of things. First receiver we have up for you is Ohio State wide receiver Emeka Egbuka. Now, to me, this is just Jesse. I think that Emeka Egbuka is probably the best route running receiver, ready-made route running NFL receiver coming out of college today. You saw the productivity that he had at Ohio State. He stands at 6'1", 200 pounds. He can do everything. Now, people are saying, well, he's never really been a number 1 at Ohio State. Well, he's actually played it with some dogs at Ohio State when you think about it. But the production has been there. And so now you can add him opposite of CeeDee Lamb. He can line up as the X receiver, but he also can be able to move around. He's extremely smooth, has really good hands, tracks the ball all over the field. He creates separation through his route running. And I think that is paramount when you look at what this offense is going to be and the quarterback that's throwing the football in this offense. The Dallas Cowboys last year, they struggled with separation. They were one of the worst teams in the NFL to create separation amongst their pass catchers. I think a player like Emeka Egbuka sitting opposite of CeeDee Lamb gives you that ability to not only have another playmaker opposite CeeDee Lamb, but a guy that can go out there and make the separation through his route running. And make sure all these rankings, you see my boy Fran, he had Emeka Egbuka ranked right there. If you're a diehard, you will have access to Fran Duffy's mock drafts, his rankings, but you got to be a diehard. So make sure you go. And we got a special going on right now, $48 spring training special. That's literally paying for itself in the t-shirt that you'll get when you become a diehard. T-shirts are about $30 a pop. So if you go ahead and be a diehard, you get the t-shirt and you get 20% off anything else that we have. We have articles, we have draft analysis. You'll have things like this that you'll see me do throughout the year. So go ahead and be a diehard. It's time to be a diehard today. Our wide receiver number 2 This guy's fallen a little bit, but I like him. Luther Burton, 6 foot, 206 pounds. Now, I know that I said that I want a full-size receiver, plays bigger than 6 foot. He is aggressive, he has good hands, and he is hard as hell to tackle. What I love about Luther Burton, he has the speed to run away from you, but he is another one of these guys who has a really good ability to run great routes. Again, I think to help Dak Prescott out, you need to add a guy like Luther Burton, opposite of CeeDee Lamb. Talk about the slant route. The slant is a route in the Cowboys offense. It's a staple in their offense. You see them running all the time. You want a guy like Luther Burton who can get inside of that DB and not afraid of the linebackers in those small windows to make those contested catches. And then once he gets his hands on the ball, it's the yak for me. Luther Burton gets the ball in his hands and he gets the ball up the field. He's a fierce competitor. He would fit great here with the Dallas Cowboys, opposite of CeeDee Lamb being a great number 2 for Dak Prescott. And our third receiver on the list, I think a lot of you might like this. Tetairoa McMillan, or some may call him T-Mac. And boy, is he everything that I want in the size of a receiver. He stands at 6'4", 219 pounds. Now, what T-Mac gives you is he gives you a contested ball catcher. When you watch his film at Arizona, he was going up in those 50-50 balls that we like to call them. Tet was making those a lot of 100 balls to number 4, his number at Arizona. I think that also would fit well with the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the one thing that Tet may not, he may not do well, T-Mac may not do well, is he may not be a polished route runner today. I think he's a good route runner. I think he gives you a wide target, 6'4", that target wingspan. I'm a guy who stands at 6'3". So being able to have this type of range that the quarterback can throw in, it makes it very hard to miss. Think about a guy like T-Mac running those seam routes, those bang eight posts, those hole shots down the sideline. He has the ability to give you an advantage. We talked about the red zone. The Cowboys, they weren't as good in the red zone because they didn't really truly have a red zone target. Tetairoa McMillan would give you a significant upgrade at red zone target, and he will be another guy that defensive coordinators had to game plan for because of his size, his speed, his catch radius, and his hands. He's one of the best contested ball catchers in the college football, and I think that too will translate to the National Football League. He does have to get better in his route running to be a pure route runner at the next level, but with his size and with his speed, I think that he would fare well for the Dallas Cowboys, opposite of CeeDee Lamb and the number 2 wide receiver for Dak Prescott. So make sure you stay tuned because we're giving you all of these. Subscribe, like, leave comments, and you too can tell me what receivers do you think the Cowboys should take at the number 12 pick in the NFL draft this year to pair with CeeDee Lamb in this upcoming 2025-2026 season. All right, man, I'm your boy, Jay Holley, and you know how we do, man. Always eliminate the contingencies. We out.
We all silly like the mayor.